BankonME, the reality show that means business, coming to you from Scotiabank Barbados. Your host, Alex Jordan.
Hello, everyone. So excited to be here to share this all-important elimination episode with you. Last week, we said goodbye to Auntie J, who stumbled at the export challenge and didn't make it through, unfortunately. Today, 4 companies face the business plan challenge that will decide the 3 companies that make it through to the finale. So you will understand that everyone paid rapt attention to William Harewood and Ryan Hunt at the Scotiabank workshop.
So in terms of financing, what are you looking at for the business?
Okay, initially we were looking at an investment of $75,000 where we would have been sharing this investment. So we were looking at investment into a project, which was a commercially based project that we felt then could give us returns through local sales and regional sales to then fund the bigger aspect of our business. After going through the BankonME and all the mentoring and hearing the questions from the judges, I think that to put ourselves in a better position, it makes sense to request investment in company as opposed to project.
In terms of the sustainment of the business and in terms of being able to pay it back, you see that as viable? You think you've got a business plan there?
We did a bit of a viability study where we've looked at a 5-year repayment plan and projected our sales for 5 years. Taking into consideration the cost of operation, that kind of thing. And we think that once we negotiated a repayment, monthly repayment, I think we are quite capable of repaying the facility. Well, I'd like to know in terms of security, what we'll be looking at for the security or the collateral. In this case, $30,000, is there a security requirement or would it be an unsecured facility?
Right, so depending on the nature of the business, the length of time the business has been in operation and so on with us, you can do either an unsecured facility or a secured facility, but it all goes back to your profile. When we look at your profile, it would determine whether we can do unsecured lending or not.
And what's the options in terms of the loan itself? Could it be a line of credit? Could it be an overdraft? What's the cheapest lending model that you have?
Well, what I usually say, it depends on what you need the money for. If you're looking for money to purchase equipment or expand the space, as you said, to that would be a loan. It might be better to do that as a loan. But the bit that you want for working capital, then it could be overdraft. That as an overdraft facility.
Okay. This would be the most recent bank statement, which will show the cash flow as such. What I obviously try to do is to ensure that all the money that I receive passed through the bank process.
Okay.
So that you can see where the money is going and how it comes out.
Okay.
So I believe that this would help.
Which helps with proper accounting as well.
Correct.
You can see where the money is being spent if you need to cut your expenses, what have you.
Yeah. Well, the expenses relative to the revenue, I would say that the net profit at the end of the day is approximately 33% of the total revenue. So you can see where there is obviously space to use up that money now in terms of funding, in terms of paying back a loan, for example.
Okay.
So with that sort of percentage, I think that it would be viable.
We were asking for 100,000.
Okay.
That would be, that would be broken down into 3 categories. 43,500 would be to add additional stock.
Okay.
6,500 for upgrade of equipment, and then we're asking $50,000 for operational costs.
Okay.
To cover working capital to cover at least 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a business plan. You have any cash flow projections that you would have worked on? Maybe we can take a look to see what revenue you expect to turn over within the next year to 2 years.
Yes, I have a balance sheet, cash flow, as well as we have a full business plan.
Mentors and contestants have really been under pressure since then, working to create the perfect plan in a last-ditch effort to impress the judges.
I find that growth is very quick. Yeah, it's pretty quick growth because it's a product that is not out there.
the very fact that you basically, I know you maybe one or two other persons doing something similar.
Yeah.
Basically, you have a large section of the market, and as you get your name out there, you will continue to have fantastic growth, especially in the beginning years.
One of the ways that we want to attract funding and funders is to present Barbados as a fresh aesthetic, a new story, a new way to view this already fantasized place. So you know what I mean? So I think that we have potential to maybe reach funders from UN, the European ACP.
I agree with you about the international agencies, but also the local corporations would want to present their image for their company in a good light as well.
In terms of the new product they're going to be selling, what about your capital projections?
We actually now putting together that aspect of it in the business plan. Yeah, but if all goes well with the investment that we will get from this competition from BankonME, we would start, with we hoping to start with a 20-foot container, then increase to a 40-foot container, and then the last one to be a 40-foot container as well.
I always like to suggest that you involve a professional, because that guy or lady is trained to put that business plan together in a way that is acceptable not only to you, but to all the people you want to convince. The bank particularly. If you want to go to IDC for a building and concessions, it has to be convincing enough. When they read that, they have to be satisfied that you know what you're doing.
And waiting to be impressed, our regular judges, Eddie Abed, Ouida Morrow, Richard Haynes. And our guest judges this week, Sonia Hunt, manager of the Zenith Group, and Gordon Seal, hotelier and entrepreneur. Remember, if you have a favorite contestant, go to Facebook or the website and vote for them to win lots of great prizes.
The winner of BankonME Season 2 will receive $15,000 from Scotiabank, a scholarship for courses at the Cave Hill School of Business, communication services from SFA Communications, a QuickBooks package and training, and advertising in the Barbados Yellow Pages. The Spirit of Enterprise Award is a $5,000 grant from Fund Access. The People's Choice Prize is a $2,000 grant from the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation. All three finalists will receive a dive for two on the Atlantis submarine, and the Mentors Prize is a staycation at Bougainvillea Resort.
Well, we asked the contestants, how do you prepare for something like this? Their response?
Next. More great cities just got closer. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard is now even better. Fly to New York, Miami, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale with just 20,000 Scotia points. With your new Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard, you'll receive a welcome bonus of 10,000 Scotia points, so you can enjoy the cities you love most sooner than ever. Apply by March 31st. Call 1-800-744-2672 or visit your nearest branch. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
On the road to success, what you wear says a lot about where you're going. At Abed's, we have the fashion look in garments and fabrics that are perfectly suited for your journey. The definition of chic. The power of elegance. The look of high fashion. Inspired and fabulous. The cutting edge of fashion. So, get dressed for success at Abed's, the cutting edge since 1964.
Do you provide accommodation for tourists and require financing? Are you in need of debt restructuring, facility upgrades, business continuity, improved cash flow? Or are you trying to avoid foreclosure? The Central Bank has the answer with a tourism loan guarantee facility. Contact us at the Foreign Exchange and Export Credits Department. Telephone 436-6870.
So, any minute now, you guys will be facing the judges. Your feelings?
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty ready. Just going over my presentation, making sure everything is on point.
Any special thoughts, any things you like to do before you face the judges?
Relax a little more. Feel extremely tense like I felt the first week, but I'm confident that I will do well before the judges.
Very nice. What about your thoughts, Leah?
I'm just excited that we've gotten this far. We really got a clear idea of what we need to do and what we have done very well.
Once they see the numbers and they see the full presentation, that they will be pretty satisfied. So I'm confident.
Well, best of luck to all of you. The Business Plan Challenge must address in detail the contestants' plan to take the company to the next level. Are you ready, judges?
Ready.
Well, contestant number 1, make your pitch.
Like I say, we are a air conditioning company committed to providing energy-efficient comfort cooling solutions that reduce operational costs, improve indoor air quality, and decrease respiratory disorders. We believe that this product, and as a result, this company will be very viable because Barbados, as well as many of the islands in the Caribbean, have some of the highest electrical rates in the world. This gives you a little idea of the import, Barbados import. Basically, this is saying we need to remove and shift from this heavy dependence on fossil fuels, and one of the alternatives that we are offering is solar energy, solar thermal to be specific. We're looking to grow 2 ways, internally and externally. Internally, we'll be looking to increase sales by marketing methods that I will mention later in the presentation. We will be looking to grow our market share as well, and as well as to expand into foreign markets. Part of our growth strategy is also to continue investing in our staff as far as training, both professionally and personally is concerned. We project that we will sell 452,000, installations 73,000, repairs 6,000, relatively low because the majority of products will be new. Servicing 40,000 based on current contracts that we have, which will bring us to a total of 571, 605,000. Marketing strategy, implement our local campaign, develop greater online presence, like I said, through the use of social media. Basically, I am the management team. Investment needed, $150,000, probably looking like 30% in equity and 70% in loan. We estimated the company to be valued at around $300,000.
Most of the information you gave us was based on projections. Give us a little summary of your financial history.
The revenue hasn't been bad. Sometimes cash flow is a challenge. When you're waiting on receivables. You see, I was operating as a self-employed person until 2011. From the time I made that switch to business, it has been profitable. Before that, it was a real struggle.
We want to be able to build a company, a one-stop vehicle care center who provides the best in vehicle care at the most competitive prices, with commitment to our customers, our staff, and ensuring that we change the landscape of our country and be able to earn some foreign exchange through exporting our company and our products to the region and internationally. In our first year, we've been able to generate about $65,000 in sales in that year. We've designed a 3-pillar growth strategy: marketing, employment, and finance. The marketing strategy seeks at pushing the services and products that we offer. Of course, we want to contribute to the employment factor of the economy and of the region. And of course, the financial, where we want to grow our revenue as well as create at least 20 to 30% part of our revenue. We want to be able to target foreign exchange. Now, without the investment, in 2015, we were projected to reach a sale point of about $264,000. However, if we get the investment, I suspect that we should be able to get should be able to double that. Well, increase about 51% to $540,000 for the same period. And of course, our team, which is made up of myself, we have a few vehicle care experts and vehicle care technicians. Now, we're asking for $90,000, of which you want to break it down. $36,000 would be equity, and we want to have a loan for the other $54,000.
Going from 2015 to 2016, you're showing a substantial increase in sales. And yet, when I look at your cost of goods sold, you're only increasing it by $5,000. Do you think that's realistic?
We are producing our own car care products now, so you don't expect that cost to rise significantly over the next couple of years. As a matter of fact, we think it should become cheaper, relatively cheaper, as we go forward compared to if you had to buy the products on the market.
You're showing an increase in sales of 40% and only less than 5% is cost of goods. It's impossible.
The latter part of 2015, we are looking at establishing a second location, right? Where that is why you see a pretty high projection there in terms of revenue.
On the the road to success, what you wear says a lot about where you're going. At Abed's, we have the fashion look in garments and fabrics that are perfectly suited for your journey. The definition of chic. The power of elegance. The look of high fashion. Inspired and fabulous. The cutting edge of fashion. So, get dressed for success at Abed's, the cutting edge since 1964.
In life, a man should have two things: a well-tailored suit and a great car. There's only one company I trust with my vehicle: Shine Vehicle Care Center, the best in vehicle care.
Irie. Irie.
Irie Foods, however you say it, Jamaican for real.
Irie Foods restaurants for authentic Jamaican cuisine. Dine in or take out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the 2nd Avenue Dover location. Take out only at Worthing.
Now, Radix is a television and film production company that seeks to produce interesting, informative, and educational films that are socially conscious. Now, we're asking for $200,000 in equity investment, and we project that we can make over $400,000 in a return in that first year, with $100,000 coming from a grant from UN Women to fund Project Collab. So we're looking at wedding video production. Now, if you can for a moment, imagine the Steven Spielberg of wedding photography and videos producing your wedding.
Our corporate video production, now in the past 2 months, we have been seeking out these clients, and we have made a relationship with Hollywood International, who represents 2 brands, 10 Saints Beer and Red Square Vodka.
Now, there is currently on the market, there is no place for Caribbean stock footage to be pushed, and we do not see a lot of it happening. As a result, we are cornering the market in terms of authentic Caribbean photography and footage for persons to download.
Our major selling strategy for this is that we're coming in at a lower cost of most of our competitors. With the investment, Radix will produce a 13-part series. This fantasy shot, our first reality makeover show, can be sold locally and regionally.
We are here before you, not simply asking for $200,000 in investment, but a partnership as well, because that is where the creative industry needs to go.
In truth and fact, I would have preferred to see a little more granular information. There was no real expansion in terms of the related costs. You said you barely alluded to 10% of your profits, but how is that broken down? How does that relate? Why would an investor look at what you presented and say, this makes sense?
Yeah, there's a quote that says good decisions come from experience and experience come from bad decisions. I noticed in terms of your business plan, you did not have all of the profit and loss and things like that. From that experience, how can you transfer that into something that can be helpful for your business?
We do recognize that that is our disadvantage, and that we have spent a lot of time on creating who we are as a production company and the images that we want to reproduce. And we're not going to say that we can do the profit and loss. We're going to say that we are looking for that partnership with a business developer that sees the future in creative industries and recognizes that this is the right time to do it.
But you will have to come with more complete information if you want someone to invest with you, because this is not something that you can really use to make a decision on an investment.
Now, our rental fleet is 4 cars and a van, and our specialty transport fleet comprised of 3 wheelchair taxis. Our viability, we cater to 2 major sectors: the tourism sector, which is the #1 foreign exchange earner, and the disabled community, which is a critical growing niche market. In our growth, we are looking at acquiring a new vehicle which will cater to the high-end market. We're also going to aggressively market our specialty wheelchair rental vehicle, which is the first in the island. We're going to use our export strategy as well to look at going into other markets. We're going to look at St. Lucia, and we're going to also acquire another school shuttle. Now, the current school shuttle we have is like $900 a week. When you extrapolate that into an average of 36 weeks, we get over $30,000 in revenue for that. We are going to use social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We try to produce a video which we can show to the world, because we believe that there's a big market out there for disabled persons. We're going to take the flyers and we're going to distribute them to the different retirement homes, different organizations that cater for the disabled, and we have a special package for funeral homes. We're also in Barbados Yellow Pages, and that has already started to generate some revenue. For 2015, we're looking at 137 as an estimate for specialty transport, 85 for rental income, and with a profit of 32,000. For 2016, 162,000 for specialty and rental income of 105 with a net profit of 45,000. Now, the management team, I am Michael Hall, the managing director. As I said, there's Sharon Holder, who is also a director. Cynthia Holder is also office assistant. And my two customer service providers today are Charmaine Eastman and Brian Lee Bailey. Our vision is to provide quality transport for all with special emphasis on disabled community. What we're looking at for investment is $250,000 with an equity investment of about $20,000 and a loan of about 20% and a loan of about 80%. Our value of our business, approximately $278,399. We use the asset-based method. When we look at the specialty transport, when we market that accessible vehicle, which will be the first in the island, we estimate that if we get 26 weeks out of the 52, we are already at $37,000. And when we acquire another school shuttle, that's about $32,000 to add to that. So I implore you, bank on me. Blessed Rentals Inc., best return for your investment.
The name Blessed is very nice, but it has a religious connotation. Is that something that you need to stay with, or could you be going for a name that is a bit more in line with what with what your business is all about?
I've actually had persons who have called me and said, we call you just because of the name.
It's very important that you try to establish how much money you will have to repay on a monthly basis, because your net income here for 2014 is a mere $13,000.
From your financials, I noticed that the cash is not very high. How has your cash flow position been in the past?
Well, my cash flow has been pretty good. What happens is I keep reinvesting the money in the business. So the cash flow is good. I've never went into overdraft or anything of that nature.
Well, before the judges head off to deliberate, I have to ask you judges, easy choice or complicated?
Clear as mud. What do you think, Sonia?
I think it's a bit complicated.
Very. This week was really was. I mean, everybody stepped up to the plate, but it's not clear. We've got to talk about this. We've really got to talk about this in good detail.
Well, now the pressure's off. Let's go see how our contestants and mentors are doing.
Well, it has been lots of hard work. Dario was really very passionate, but he's also very hardworking. And every challenge we get more and more excited.
I put my all into everything that I do, especially these presentations. And with a mentor like Roxanne, we're going to go, way beyond our expectations.
So I'm very happy with how they presented themselves today.
We were happy with the judges' responses, we're happy with their questions, and we're happy with our position and what we've done so far.
I have a background in accounting, so I therefore put real numbers so I could explain them.
It wasn't as fluent as I wanted to be, but it went well. The figures were solid, and I think that's what counts.
Who's made it through to the finals? We'll find out next.
I think that we said that they did not put the effort in. Because obviously they did not put the effort in as it relates to being able to project.
Yeah, I think they were the only group that did not give us some kind of projections in terms of income for a number of years. Their cost of sales, things like that. There was an attempt at cash flow, but it was not very thorough. I think that's where they fell down.
That the wedding scenario, as a new entrant in that industry, I think that is a big challenge. I think that it's going to be very difficult for Radix to be able to make a mark in that industry.
This is not one of the best weeks in terms of the contestants completing the task at hand. It was at best mediocre. Correct.
More great cities just got closer. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard is now even better. Fly to New York, Miami, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale with just 20,000 Scotia points. With your new Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard, you'll receive a welcome bonus of 10,000 Scotia points, so you can enjoy the cities you love most sooner than ever. Apply by March 31st. Call 1-800-744-2672 or visit your nearest branch. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Back. A little more.
Some people do ridiculous things when they can't see what they're looking for.
Okay, perfect. I'll have the grilled lobster, please.
Find new glasses, optometrists, all you're looking for in the Barbados Yellow Pages. The Barbados Yellow Pages.
Do you provide accommodation for tourists and require financing? Are you in need of debt restructuring, facility upgrades, business continuity, improve cash flow? Or are you trying to avoid foreclosure? The Central Bank has the answer with a tourism loan guarantee facility. Contact us at the Foreign Exchange and Export Credits Department. Telephone 436-6870.
Well, judges, we all want to hear what you're going to say. So without any delay, can you tell us the names of the contestants who will be going through to the final?
So the challenge this week was a business plan challenge where the financials were really the core part of the challenge. And this week, there are no winners. We found that all four of you, did not step up to the scale when it came to the financial part of the business plan. Overall, the business plans were good, but when it came to the finances, they were just off. However, we still do have to choose 3 people to stay, and one of you unfortunately have to go. What I'll do is I'll start with our 2 guest judges this week, to Gordon and Sonia, and of course we'll end up with the Axeman Eddie, who will send one of y'all unfortunately home.
The first company going through to the finale is Rima. Whose ideas are good and needed at this particular time with regards to energy savings. But we feel that the competition could very quickly knock you out if you don't take steps to purchase your own equipment directly from abroad. You will need to have your own brand.
The second company going through to the finale is Blessed Rentals, Inc. Michael, we thought your presentation was thorough. Your numbers appeared reasonable. They were not pie in the sky. We want to caution you, however, about your costing of the contracts, your costing of your business side, and the need to firm up the business through contracts.
Radix and Shine, or Radix. Because I really wanted to see more meat as it related to numbers, to be able to understand where your business is supposed to go.
As far as you go, Dario, you're a strong contestant. Every week you bring passion, you bring such enthusiasm about what you do to the table. It's hard for us to not consider you, as being somebody of serious interest to this particular competition. Each of you are extremely strong contestants. Sadly, only one more can go through to the final 3. And this week, I'd like to welcome Dario from Shine. Congratulations. Leah and Jamal, come back and see us in a year or 2.
Congratulations to our finalists. Next week, the winning Season 2 BankonME entrepreneur will be chosen in front of a live studio audience. So join us then, as we say, BankonME?
Absolutely!
But we think that we've achieved so much. It's a new business. We've kind of put the plan and the model together based on this show. So we're excited to have gone this far.
We know exactly what we have to do now, and going forward, there's going to be an explosion of Radix everywhere you see.